Today, we know that our country is at a crossroads. In most towns, COVID has changed everything. It's turned lives upside down, and communities that were once bustling and energetic are now largely dormant. Where children used to run and play, many of those places are silent. And streets that were once quiet now ring loud with responses to injustice. And while this new norm is hard for all of us, there are many children and families whose situations, already challenging, have been made even worse. But today we are here to recognize a group of women whose mission has soldiered on through today's crises and many before in its 100 years of existence. Hello, I'm Mike Shaver, President and CEO of Children's Home and Aid. And today we want to honor the compassionate resilience of the Women's Board, recognizing its 100th anniversary. I'd like to start by thanking the Women's Board President, Mary Ellen Cagney, and the Women's Board Gala Chair, Dee Dee Myers. They, along with this year's co-honorees, Mitzi Friedheim and Marletta Darnell, continue to do whatever it takes to support Children's Home and Aid's vision of creating brighter futures for the next generation, with high-quality early childhood education and wraparound services for the entire family. Thank you for joining us today. It is certainly a gala like none I've ever attended, and I'm sorry not to be with you in person. It is certainly different for you, but you're here, and we know that is because of your unwavering commitment to changing life trajectories in Illinois through quality early education. Our sponsors have continued to do whatever it takes during these challenging times, and I want to take just a moment to recognize each of them now. First, thank you to our $25,000 host sponsors, Mr. Robert Bruce, the Edwardson Family Foundation, and ITW. To our $15,000 patron sponsor, Ms. Lisbeth Stiefel. I want to recognize and thank our $10,000 Wings to Fly sponsors, Bob and Marletta Darnell, the Mr. and Mrs. Cyrus F. Friedheim family, Ms. Mary Ellen Hennessy, the McNamara Purcell Foundation, Mr. and Mrs. David F. Myers, Maria Kronfeld, Mr. and Mrs. William Smithberg, and Barbara A. Spear. We also want to acknowledge our $5,000 hero sponsors, Mary Ellen Cagney and Lee J. Schoen, Dr. and Mrs. David Campbell, Carrie and Can Copulet, the Gantz Family Foundation, Goldman Sachs and Company LLC, Dana and Joe Moser, the Lavin Family Foundation, Mr. and Mrs. Alan G. McNally, Cindy and Will Montgomery, the Pearson Rappaport Foundation, the Sam Family Foundation, Ms. Suzanne T. Smart, Gail and David Spruance, Elizabeth and James Stucker, Lisa and Brad Tank, Mrs. Joan A. Wing, Mr. and Mrs. Herb Zaroff. We are all here today because we know that the need continues, and the need continues to be great. We appreciate your support. We again thank the Women's Board for their efforts to create brighter futures for children and families in Illinois. Thank you.
We really focus on the relationships, because in early childhood, that is the key piece of what really matters. So we're taking care of the parents, which are primary caregivers, and acknowledging that if they're not okay, the babies aren't going to be okay. So not only are the social workers or the family support working with the families, but the teachers are also working in tandem with the family support to try and keep everything on that level field. So that's really something that's very kind of unique about our site, and it's absolutely like nothing I've ever seen. I will tell you, if it was not for the Marletta Darnell Center, it was not for the grace of this agency, the Women's Board, and our funders, and to have so much community support, to be able to work with our community and to be able to have a place within our community where we know that we're making a difference, where we can see this growth, is just, it's an honor. COVID's been a real rough time for us. You know, we had a lot of regulations that we needed to follow. we started providing remote learning to our families. So like I said, we were sending activities, we were sending supplies, but the work definitely did not stop there. Being back on site, I think we're about a month in. The kids are wearing their masks. The parents are so happy and thankful to be back. And it's just good to have our people. It fills you right up. And it's just so, you remember why you're here. You remember why you're doing this big work.
Children's Home and Aid is a wonderful place for my grandchildren as well as myself. I love to volunteer there.
Everybody treats us like family, and everybody knows our name when we walk into the building. And my grandkids, they are flourishing beautifully.
All three of my young granddaughters, they never attended school before, and they are little scholars now.
It's not just a place for the children, it's a place for the parents also. They have lots of activities to help you get job services, whatever your needs are. If you bring it to the table and talk to them about it, they'll enter it into the program.
The atmosphere and the family love that we experience at Mitzi, I don't think I would have got anywhere else in the world. And I really appreciate the Women's Board, and I am so thankful and grateful that they have been around for 100 years because I was able to experience that.
Thank you to our wonderful staff and to you, Yolanda, for sharing your story. My name is Dee Dee Myers. I am chair of the 100th anniversary of the Women's Board of Children's Home and Aid. I am fortunate to have Mitzi Friedheim and Marletta Darnell as honorary co-chairs. We had great plans for our centennial celebration, and then the pandemic hit. We had to cancel our gala, yet the children we serve were suffering more than ever. So we steeled our resolve to fight for them in other ways. We bring our message to you now, wherever you are. Children's Home and Aid was founded in 1883. Since then, we have been doing whatever it takes to bring hope to desperate communities across Illinois. We have over 70 programs that protect, educate, counsel, and advocate for children and families in need. In 1920, a group of women founded the Women's Board to help with these many programs. Now, the Women's Board focuses on just one: early childhood education. Here's why. Education is key for overcoming the obstacles of poverty, but research reveals that it is critical to start at the beginning of life. During the early years, a child learns more than at any other time. In fact, by the age of 5, a child's brain is 90% developed. Children who have access to early education have higher IQs and are more successful in school and in life. Early education also benefits parents. They cannot work if they cannot afford childcare. Our centers support the parents and encourage involvement in their children's education. Our enthusiastic former librarian, Angela Benton, even persuaded parents to put on plays for the children. While shy at first, the parents now vie for the role of Peter Pan or Captain Hook, and the children are delighted. If we can ignite a love for learning in children while providing support for parents, we can help break the cycle of generations living in poverty. Our 3 centers are aptly named for trailblazers of early education: the Mitzi Friedheim Center in Englewood, the Marletta Darnell Center in Schaumburg, and the Jerry Hoffman Center in Carpentersville. These centers are beacons in their neighborhoods. Children are welcomed with smiles and hugs, babies are rocked, naps are taken, manners are taught, meals are shared, stories are read, songs are sung, gardens are planted, games are played, and book bags are toted home with favorite stories. In such trying times, the children and families at these centers needed heroes to emerge. And so many of you were there for them, with empathy and generosity. With all my heart, I thank you, sponsors and donors. Each one of you is a hero to so many children who need one. But the fight is not over. So if you have not donated, I ask you to open your heart, be a hero, and give these children the wings to fly beyond their circumstances and the chance to soar to new possibilities. Here's how to give. Visit our website, children'shomeandaid.org/gala, to participate in our silent auction or fund a need. Or you can text Thriving 61094 to give. On our 100th anniversary, thank you for the best gift of all, the gift of giving.